It's Friday the 13th, and tonight we're going to hang out with the psychic mediums and the spirits who some say still walk these lands. It was a lot of fun joining the psychic mediums as they reached out, and they say that the spirits were communicating to them and answering our questions as the visitors of Lake Shawnee followed along. It's Friday the 13th and I'm heading into the haunted carnival. I can't wait. There's all kinds of exciting things already happening. Like me falling because I'm not watching where I'm going. Yeah, I fell in a ditch. I really did. How the hell did I do that? Oh my God. I fell in a ditch. Look, you see it? I fell in a ditch. There was an eerie, ghouly wedding earlier. I've already met Lee, who's a tarot card reader, and she channels the children who once lived there and who died there, and so I'm really excited about walking around with her and seeing who she can channel. So let's go see what spooky things we can find in the haunted Shawnee Lake Carnival on Friday the 13th in October.
You guys want to hear some of the stories? Yeah. Okay, sounds good. I'm going to repeat them again. So what I do, guys, is I hang out around the swing. And the whole thing is to make contact between the little girl and you guys. Because you guys are stranger dating. Right? She has no idea who you are. So she knows me where I stay at the park all the time. So she knows who I am. So I hang out over here, try to get the communication going between her and you. So maybe she'll interact with you. Maybe she'll move a swing. Maybe something will happen while you're here tonight. And that way you can come back and tell me your story. Next weekend I'm repeating what happened to you guys instead of what happened last weekend. So I'll tell you a few stories that's happened over the years since we've been here. So all I can do is tell you the facts of what I've seen with my own two eyes and what goes on here at Lake Shawnee. So that's what I do. I stand here, tell stories. She likes my stories. So the whole thing is to make that connection between you and her, and maybe you guys have an experience. Does everybody know the story of the little girl on the swing? No. Okay. As the swing went around, the soda delivery truck backed into the path of the swing, and the little girl hit the back of the soda truck and killed her instantly. So she is one of the most active spirits that we have on the property. So a lot of people come down and pay respect to her, and also the little boy that drowned in the swimming pond. A lot of paranormal people come and tell me stories about where they encountered an 8-year-old little boy that is keeping tabs on Lake Shawnee as far as keeping it safe and taking care of the property.
I'm here tonight at Lake Shawnee with Lee Schilling Edwards, psychic medium.
Yes.
And she has been able to communicate with some of the spirits who dwell here on Lake Shawnee. So we're going to take a walk with her tonight and some of the guests here of Lake Shawnee and see what we can conjure up.
Absolutely.
Do you want to tell a little bit about some of the experiences? I guess they don't always talk to you.
You know, the funny thing about spirits is they come through when they want to come through, and we never know who's going to come. But usually I can pick up certain ones,
okay,
and then others will surprise us.
Okay, great. So you ready to be surprised and delighted? And we'll see who shows up. And also, just a little bit of background: we have children's spirits here of children who have died on this property, as well as a pretty big presence or a pretty big history of Native Americans. So we don't know who might show up tonight through our wonderful medium here, Lee.
That's right.
Okay. All right. Let's go. Do you get a feeling? Do you hear a voice? How does it normally start to present for you?
I will get an impression, and spirit will come to me, sort of like watching a movie.
Okay.
I can feel things, I can smell things, I can sense things. Folks say, how does it work? I don't know.
Okay.
It just does, and we'll see what we get.
Okay. And is there usually a specific place where you get more activity than others?
I almost always get activity by the swings.
Okay.
But just walking through, I'll often get Native Americans. And there are 3 presences over on our right now. They're just curious.
Oh, so you're feeling them right now?
Oh, I feel them all the time.
Oh.
Now there are 2. One of them has sort of gone off, but there are 2 male Native Americans that are just sort of curious about us right now. And they're just sort of watching, wondering what we're doing. And they're sort of walking off now. If you can say walk.
Float, glide.
They're moving off in another direction. The little girl is over here. She's a beautiful little dark-haired girl. Hair is about like this, and what I see is a pastel pink dress, and about to here. She's over in this area, and she's just
Like where the green light is?
uh
Well, there's actually nothing but green light over there.
she's right here. She's wondering what we're doing.
Do we know her name?
I don't know her name. The letter P comes through to me, but I haven't, disclaimer, I haven't actually been on the tour and heard, all the history that they've come up with. One of the reasons that I do that is when I come to a place like this, I like to come as a clean slate. So I don't have preconceived notions. I like to have an open mind and pick up whatever I pick up. So, do you have questions for her?
Does she get scared when people are invading her territory?
No, not at all. She sees us as part of the amusement park.
Does she ever get lonely?
No, it's not really something that occurs to her. It's a different timeline. It's not a linear timeline. She doesn't seem to be aware of those times when people aren't here. Terrified. It's very overwhelming. The other things that I'm getting are sort of more random. Tabitha was saying like she had a cold at the time, some sort of sniffle or something. They're talking about curing ham.
This would have been October of 1782. And Mitchell decides to go to get salt, to salt down the meat for winter.
Asking them about what happened is it brings up a lot of fear. So there's only so deep I can delve into that question before it becomes a little too much, before, I'm experiencing a little too much that they saw.
Okay.
So I'm gonna shield a little bit from that. We also have about 5 Native American visitors with us right now. We've got a female and 3 males. They're showing me celebrations that they've had on this land. That this was a place not that they didn't necessarily live, but they would come here regularly for gatherings. And different groups would come and meet at certain times of the year.
We knew that it had a small reservation. They would just visit every once in a while and stuff like that. But we didn't know that it had a trading post.
And for certain celebrations and burials. There were many burials here, and they would come here to celebrate their ancestors.
With a huge burial ground.
I think we can all feel, in this particular area, we can feel that heaviness.
Yep.
You know, even people that don't consider themselves to have extra perception or whatever can feel this heaviness in this particular place. A shaman is coming through. He's a bit stern, and he's concerned about our intentions, that others before us have had selfish intentions on this land, and of course we want to tell him that we're just visiting. We are not going to try to take this land or anything. We're just visiting. We're just passing through, and we're enjoying the beauty of this beautiful place, this very sacred ground.
So I learned something new today. I learned what a dowsing rod is. I'm here with Gina, who is a dowsing rod, I'm going to say expert. So why don't you tell us a little bit about what a dowsing rod is and what it does?
Dowsing rods originally were used to find water. For thousands of years, people have used metal rods, or even before metal was discovered, they would use a forked stick from a tree.
Oh, wow.
And people would find water. Apparently you can find oil and minerals. And you can even communicate with the dead. Described to me is that spirit is using my energy to move the rods. Okay. Because I can sit here and say, turn around in a circle. And they will turn around in a circle. Mm-hmm. But when I'm asking spirit questions, I try to go for yes or no. And I've got them programmed to cross in front of me for yes, and separate away from each other for no. So, and you can see that my rods have a sleeve on them that this is what I hold on to. So I'm not really touching, you know, I cannot, the only way that I can move them is with movement of my hands.
Right.
You know, so I try to hold my arms close to my body to try to stay still. I try to have the tips pointed slightly down, and I try to have one higher than the other so when they cross for yes, they don't touch. So, show us the answer for a yes, please.
It's freaky.
Okay, thank you. Show us a no. Okay, thank you. Is it okay if we come in and ask questions? Yes? Okay, thank you. Now, do you want me to find the graves for you?
Yeah, everybody's nodding their head yes.
Yeah.
So these are the graves of the Clay children. So
Tabitha, Bartley, and Ezekiel are all three buried here. And somebody throw out one of those names and we'll see if we can find their grave.
Tabitha.
Tabitha? Okay. Tabitha, are you here? Will you talk to me? Yes? Okay, thank you, Tabitha. Tabitha, I've got a bunch of friends with me tonight and we would like to be able to find your grave. Will you show me where your grave is? Okay, thank you. Point me in the direction I need to walk to be able to find your grave. My rods just crossed in front of me, which indicates that I am standing on Tabitha's grave.
Wow.
Does anybody have any questions for Tabitha?
Is she at peace with, because of everything that happened?
Yes.
Okay.
Is her brother Ezekiel with her?
Yes.
Is he buried here too?
Yes.
Huh. Can you show us where?
Ezekiel?
Ezekiel, yeah, Ezekiel's the one that was taken away and burned at the stake.
Ezekiel is pointing me in this direction to walk. Hey, my rod just crossed in front of me again, indicating that we are standing on Ezekiel's grave.
Wow.
Ezekiel, thank you for showing me where your grave is. Ezekiel, are you glad that your father brought you home? Are you at peace? Good. Thank you. Little girl, are you here? I'm back to visit with you again. You remember me? Yes? I had fun last weekend playing Ring Around the Rosie with you. I bet you had fun making me dizzy. Yep. So, do you like to stay here at the park and play with the people that come to visit? I hear you like to play tricks on people.
Ask her if it was her that made me run around the swing the other day.
Just did.
Yeah.
Were you having fun with me?
Yeah.
I was being silly. It was fun.
Where are you standing now? Oh, are you standing beside of Terry? Or you want me to spin around in circles again? Yeah, okay. That's what my rods were doing last week when she had me spinning around in circles. Okay. Yep. Thank you for playing Ring Around the Rosie with me. It was fun, and you made me dizzy. Thank you for talking to us. Hopefully I'll be able to come back up and play Ring Around the Rosie with you again.
Strong, yes.
Mm-hmm. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye. Thank you.